Both my parents have been dead for a while. I still pray that they can hear me.
Sir Isaac Newton said he became successful by standing on the shoulders of giants. The biggest actors of all time learned their craft by watching the experts who came before them. Many also find support from their families. It's almost a cliche for actors to thank their mother and/or father when accepting an award. Others have had more complicated family dynamics. One actor knows that better than any other. Keep watching to learn how Jack Nicholson discovered his sister was actually his mother. How it began. Jack's actual mother was named June. She became pregnant at age 18 by her boyfriend, simply known today as Don. He was already married at the time in 1936. June had dreams of stardom and wanted to avoid the shame of having a child out of wedlock. It would have ruined her chances of achieving her dreams, especially in the conservative 1930s. That's how the arrangement began. The family came up with a plan to shield her from any scandal. Ethel May threatened Don with the Mann Act and said he'd be in legal trouble if he didn't stay away from June. He was never seen again. Jack Nicholson was born April 22, 1937 in Neptune, New Jersey. He grew up thinking that June was his much older sister and Ethel May was his mother. He also believed his Aunt Lorraine was his other sister. Patrick McGillian, author of the biography Jack's Life, points out that, quote, nobody ever bothered to explain this to young Jack. Jack never met his father, but his brother-in-law Shorty, who was married to his Aunt Lorraine, served as a father figure. It was enough of a family for young Jack. He was a rambunctious young child who often got into trouble in school. Once he found out what he wanted to do with his life, he poured his whole heart into it. How it affected his career. June didn't stay in the mother role for long. She chose her dreams of stardom instead and went to Miami when Jack was 4. She got the chance to become an Earl Carroll showgirl. It was part of the reason Jack even went on to become an actor. He was following the only family he'd ever known. As he put it, quote, since my only relative in the world was June, who was out here, I came out to look around. Jack doesn't feel that it was an immediate decision he made on a whim. There wasn't a single day when he caught the acting bug. Instead, it was a gradual desire built over time. As he puts it,
I would say it was a gradual thing, as it probably is with most people. It's an unusual choice of occupation for a sort of centrally placed male American. You know, when you're out there in New Jersey, you don't suddenly pop up in the middle of your football practice and say, yes, I'm going to be an actor. It doesn't do it that way. I probably really started thinking about doing it after I was doing it.
if you suffer from daily pain, you need to hear this. It is no secret that Big Pharma isn't interested in your relief. They want you hooked on pain pills forever. And they're profiting billions in the process. But now, a natural pain solution has taken hold throughout the United States. That solution is named Canolidine, and it may be your ticket to a life without pain. Chances are you've already heard someone talking about Canolidine, as it has changed the lives of hundreds of thousands of Americans. Over 2 million bottles were shipped last year alone. Why is it so popular? This drug-free innovation has been studied for 14 years, and it gives you pain pill level of relief without side effects, grogginess, or risk of addiction. No synthetic pills, no injections, and no expensive doctor visits. In fact, it is 1/10 the cost of traditional pain management. Scientists are calling Canolidine nature's morphine, and it's the only substance ever proven to activate your body's natural pain molecules, the very same ones upon which pain meds are designed. And until midnight, you can try Canolidine risk-free for 90 days for just $1 per day. No subscriptions, no gimmicks, just honest and powerful relief. Remember, authentic Canolidine is only produced by one company in the world, GDR Labs, and every bottle is small batch manufactured in Atlanta, Georgia. Thousands have vocalized their success with Canolidine. You could be next. But hurry, due to demand, this special pricing expires at midnight tonight. To try Canolidine for less than $1 per day, go to www.trycono.com/facts or click the link below this video. Break free from Big Pharma. You have nothing to lose but your pain. Jack's trip to Hollywood was meant to be a short vacation, but it became a career. He got a job as an office boy in the animation department at MGM. It wasn't a glamorous role, but it ended up being the perfect way to dip his toes into the world of film. He considered it
a job which I got really mainly to observe movie making because I was sort of starstruck at that time. Still am.
He was discovered by a producer there who gave him a tip: sign up for acting classes. The rest is history. Jack began in low-budget movies, such as 1958's The Crybaby Killer. His early performances didn't light the world on fire, but the time came. He eventually found a breakthrough role in 1969's Easy Rider. He became a hot commodity and a prolific worker. He kept putting out films, including classics such as One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. He became known as the star with the killer smile. Everything changed after the release of 1974's Chinatown. Time magazine wanted him on their cover, along with a profile of him and his prolific career. What they discovered shook his world forever. How Jack discovered his sister was his mother. One day, Jack got a phone call he'd never forget. It came from researchers from Time magazine. They wanted to clarify details in his life story that didn't seem right. That's when the cover-up got busted wide open. They told him his father was most likely alive and living in Ocean Grove, New Jersey. They also revealed that his mother, Ethel May, was actually his grandmother, and that his sister June was his biological mother. Jack's known for being well composed in interviews, but the call shook him to its core. He asked them not to print their findings until he could verify them. He called up Shorty, telling him the information he just heard was, quote, the most effed thing I've ever heard. Shorty tried to deny it at first. He eventually handed the phone to his wife Lorraine, who confirmed everything. The one thing she couldn't confirm was if the man Time magazine reporters said was living in Jersey, Don Forcillo Rose, was his biological father. He'd been out of their lives for so long, there was no way to be sure. Life had begun to imitate art. Chinatown features a plot where it's revealed that Faye Dunaway's character's sister is actually her daughter. That kind of reveal matters more when it happens to a real human being. How did Jack respond? Jack's life was in disarray for a bit. He asked for Mike Nichols, the director of 1975's The Fortune, to keep an eye on him during production. He didn't know what he might do after having such a major revelation. He wasn't able to confront Ethel May and June. They were both dead by the time he discovered the truth. Jack eventually managed to adjust to the impact of it. He feels it was more dramatic than traumatizing and said, quote, I was very impressed by their ability to keep the secret, if nothing else. It's done great things for me. He says he was glad the secret didn't end up coming out when he was a child or a teenager. As he put it, he was old enough to be fully psychologically formed by the time he found out the truth about his family. He's grateful for the clarity it provided. One area where it didn't provide as much clarity as he may have hoped was the truth about his father. Some reports agree with the Time reporters, while others think his mother's manager was his true biological father. Jack claims he doesn't really care who his father was because Shorty was as much of a father as anyone could want. He doesn't speak about his family drama much to the press today. When he spoke about June, he referred to her as sister mother before putting the matter to bed. Jack's life today. As Jack's notoriety in Hollywood grew, so did his bad boy persona. He was known for having plenty of romantic flings. His encounters with women even occasionally became violent. Many of them resulted in children. As he puts it,
nature's only bona fide guaranteed positive surprise, having a baby.
His mother would certainly know something about that. The difference with him is he seemed to have viewed all of his children as positive surprises. That doesn't make him a perfect parent. His relationship with his children is mixed. Some are closer than others to him. However, Jack's bridges aren't all burned, and he has friends and family left to support him. Most who know him say at least some of the persona was an act. They say he's easier to be around in reality than he seemed. It's unclear how much of it came from his troubled upbringing. For years, he just couldn't seem to shake the rebellious streak he had since he was a child. An older, more mature Jack is ready to put it behind him. He hopes to one day settle down. He loves acting and is grateful to have been able to do it for as long and successfully as he did. He has no regrets. He's glad his life and career took the trajectory they did. He says,
I always have felt that I was lucky because if I had been successful that early, I'd be in a position where I was trying to make a comeback now.
Today, he doesn't worry about his reputation or career as much. He spends most of his time at home. He's become reclusive. If he's ever found in a photo, it's likely just of him staring out over his own balcony. Of course, he deserves to take a break after such a tumultuous life. Other than finding the one to spend his final days with, what hasn't he achieved? He's earned a record-breaking number of nominations, starred in countless hits, and become a household name. Let his children carry on the impressive legacy he created. If there are any secrets left in his life, he also has the right to decide when they come out. There may be a few more bombshells for fans, but hopefully he'll be in control of the narrative this time. Now it's time to hear from you. What's the craziest headline you've ever read about a celebrity? Let us know your thoughts in the comments section below.